Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. Interlock those fingers. Keep them straight to your ear. Turn at your hips and waist to peek at the heel of your opposite foot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, bend at the waist. 4, 5, 6, it's not a hand motion. 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1. Same way you go down by touching your legs is the same way you try to come back up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful, shift your weight, kick your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, shift your weight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet. Choose one side, cross and sit on that side. Good Tai Chi posture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Head erect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, looking better now. Okay, so always be aware of where your head is, and you remember, use your finger, pointing finger, and make sure that your alignment is straight up here. Good golden cockerel, okay? Good time to practice. Good time to think through your movement and feel every muscle that is being used. Okay, opening up our span, good Tai Chi posture, straightening out through our spine. Golden cockerel standing on its left. Shift your weight, up, center, counterbalance, push down, push up. Center, shift weight, up and down. Golden cockerel stands on its left, stands on its right. Don't forget that other hand that's cocked, not asleep. Center yourself, think through your motion. Getting better. Bring that foot in towards the center of your body. Okay, one more set. Very good. Okay, kicking out now. Right hand on the outside with a right foot kicking out. Here we go. 50-50, shift weight to the left, right hand on the outside, right foot coming out, follow your kick with your hand, follow it with your eye. Left hand, left foot up, kicking out in line. Make sure that the backhand is counterbalancing on the opposite angle as your front hand, okay? Last one. Okay, holding our ball on a T stance. So let me see how you do that. Where's your T stance? Where's your ball? Where's your weight? Yeah, where's your weight? That's the most important thing. Where's the T? This way now. This foot goes this way. This way. Not so much parallel, but you want to cross that hat or top of the letter T, capital T. Weight on the left, weight on the right, the back foot. So I should see there's a flexing of the knee, right? Otherwise, there's weight evenly distributed if you don't flex. Okay, we're going to the left, okay? Holding our ball, left hand on the bottom, left foot weightless or insubstantial. Here we go, out and to the side on an L, part the wild horse's mane, as if you were presenting a snack to the person in front of you. Bow stance. Sit back, lower, pivot on the left, root down on the left, form your T with your ball. Out on an L, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, T and ball. Out on an L, move that ball. On a bow stance, part the wild horse's mane. Here it is. Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, form your T for better balance with a ball. Out on an L, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, lower, pivot, ball and T. Bottom hand advances. Left foot comes out on an inhale. Left hand advances as if it were presenting a snack to the person in front of you. The right hand holds the top of a ball that sits to the side of our hip, outward, okay? Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, T and ball, L and ball, bottom hand advances, right foot, right hand. Sit back, lower, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance. Okay, so these are some of the things that you need to be careful with, okay? If we say that we know that the center of gravity is from the middle of our skull through our chest and 2 inches below our dantian, then we have to adhere to that cable. So at no time can you not go beyond your toe, which you know, but then look what happens. I'm not grounded. My back foot is helping me to fall. So you want to make sure that the back foot is firm on the ground, almost 50-50 on a bow stance, and the knee not beyond the toe. Once the knee goes beyond the toe or you're following your hand, there's more chances that your back foot will lift and raise, and that will create a fall. So we're going to have to be very strict that you always adhere to this cable that you always need to be aware of, okay, with that finger. All right. We will move into a new movement that is pretty complicated. But what I want to do now is start from the beginning, commencing form, and go all the way through golden cockerel, kicking out, okay? So good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, middle finger to the side seam, growing through your spine a couple of inches, okay? Really tall. Commencing form, 50-50, put 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 on your right foot as you come up to your toe of the left, open, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Hands rotate to the middle of your thighs. Take a deep breath in as you elevate both hands. You're going to drop your shoulders, elbows, wrists, flex your knees to make yourself small. Left hand stays in the center, right hand rises up higher. Open both palms to the ceiling as you glance at your backhand. Bring that backhand closer to your ear. Turn your neck. Meet both hands in the middle. Slide forward, push forward. Repulsing of the monkey. Center, higher, glance, open, ear, turn, meet, slide. Today's lesson, parallel higher on a T. At least give me the T stance, okay? Parallel higher on a T. Do the best you can because it is a new lesson, new movement. Out on an L, multitasking, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist as we brush our knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, reposition your hands on a T-step, parallel and higher. All together, you're going to do an ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Don't worry about it. You'll get it after you learn it. Sit back, lower, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Out on an L, part the wild horse's mane. Get a good stretch. Sit back, lower, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance, out and to the side on an L, part the wild horse's mane. Lesson for 2 weeks now, cloud hands, a sideways motion. Join the left hand with your right hand. The left hand, the palm is facing you. The right hand, the palm is away from you. Sit back, lower, twist step, 12 o'clock, stem and cup, 9 o'clock, flip the hands, close the feet. 12 o'clock, stem and cup, 3 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet, 12 o'clock, stem and cup, 9 o'clock, only flip the hands, 12 o'clock, stem and cup, 3 o'clock, flip the hands, close the feet. Stem and cup in the 12. 9 o'clock, flip the hands, open the feet. 12 o'clock, stem cup. 3 o'clock, only flip the hands. Shift your weight to the left, up, and be a golden cockerel. Other side. Then we're going to kick out. Right hand on the outside, right foot coming up. Kick out in line. Other side, left hand, left foot, up, and out. And we'll stop at holding our ball on a T-step, okay? All right. So far, so good. Maybe it gives you a overview as to how the different movements are strung along in a sequential way, okay? So today's lesson is brush knee. So essentially, everybody's going to learn it the way that I think would be the best. What we do on one side, we do on the other side. So you can probably see that in a big way, general idea or image that I'm brushing my knee. You also see that several things are occurring. Foot is wrong. Several things are occurring at the same time. One, this is occurring, and two things are occurring, 3 things are occurring, right? 1, 2, 3, but they're done all together. They're done all together, and I want to point out something that I really want you to see. If my hand and feet are in the right position, I turn my hips and waist, I do nothing with my hands, they're attached to me. That's magical, but it really isn't, because we know that everything is attached. If we used our hips and waist that requires us to do it, we won't have any problem with what the right hand does, the top hand does, the bottom hand does, and what our feet do. Because as long as we have a hand that's parallel, my sense of parallel, and the other hand that's higher, if I have my energy stored in my back foot and I come out on an L, something logically happens when I turn my hips and waist. Do you see that? Even for my old-time students now, okay? That's how we should learn this movement of brush knee. So the premise is in Tai Chi, if the energy is stored correctly in the back foot and you are directing your movements through your mind and through your hips and waist, the hands go for the ride. The hands set up correctly, powered in the back foot, they do not lead my motion. So when someone doesn't understand this, then they say, hey, all she said is top hand comes to your ear, then you turn and you do this. And I'm contorted. I'm not aligned correctly because my hips are still here when they should be on a bow stance. So you don't want to move your hands without the power of your hips and waist doing that motion for you. And remember, we said that when we're on a T stance, we're storing that energy. Well, there's nothing good about storing the energy if your hands are just going to do the work for you. You're going to have to move that energy from the sole of your feet to your ankle, to your leg, to your knee, your thighs, your hips and waist, chest and shoulder, and then out. That is Tai Chi, okay? So I think that if we can understand so far what I've presented, then the motion or the movement of brush knee becomes very easy. Agree? Let's try that. I'm going to face you, so you're going to be on the opposite, okay? Well, I'll try this way. So left hand, parallel. Normally we think of left hand or a parallel hand straight away this way, but this is a parallel also. So this is my sense of parallel. So the fingertips of the left hand are closer to the shoulder, above your chest, whereas the right hand is higher. Remember I said it wasn't a cross for repulsive little monkey, but was slightly higher. So this is that motion here. okay? So far we said the left hand is parallel, which is the opposite hand of what you see on my side, and the right hand is higher. And we're setting ourselves up, okay? So I'm gonna be like you, and we're on a T stance, and we're storing our energy on our right or back foot. We're gonna come out on a L, okay? This is the L. But as we put our heel out, we have to go with the flow of our body, which is multitasking, ear and hand, right? 3 things happen. That's the most logical thing. Can you do it 2 times with me? We're on a T stance, we're storing our energy. Out on an L, again, out on an L. Can you do it with me without just doing it so I can see? We're on a T stance, storing that energy. You're going to come out this way. I'm going to turn around and watch so I can move on, okay? On a T stance, storing your energy. What are we going to do to brush your knee? Out on an L. Okay, so yes, some people really get it or semi-get it, and other people are still wondering, which is fine, okay? So put your hands down. I'm going to face this way so that you just can see, have a better view. This is my parallel hand. This is my hand that's higher. I'm going to do this motion. But I can't do this motion unless I do this, okay? I am getting ready to shift my weight. So 3 things happen. But I don't just bring it in and put it out here. It's all together in a smooth way. So all together in a smooth way means that my hands go for the ride because I'm turning my hips and waist and distributing or transferring my energy from my back leg that stores everything, okay? And it's okay to try, but I think maybe as I demonstrate, maybe I need more attentive people so that when we do drill, you can understand the premise in which I have instructed, okay? So just to go over it really fast, you're on a T stance, you have a parallel hand, you have a hand that's higher. You want to get out here. You want to get out here to brush your knee. The force comes from this stored energy. So I should see still people listening, okay? It's going to go like this, but we do not just move our hands. We move our energy. My hands are still in the same position, but as I transfer my energy, it takes on a new form. Okay, let's try that now. And I said that I would let you drill. So if you understand of what I just presented, perhaps it may be easier, but nothing's easy if it's not done ever before, and this is the first time. And even for first-time people who've done it before, it's still not that clear, okay? So we're on a T stance, rooted down on our back, left hand parallel, closer to the, your fingers closer to your shoulder, right hand above in another plane or level. We're glancing at it, and you notice that I don't glance at it this way. I can just see it through the corner of my eye. We're going to multitask, but we're going to let our body move our hands. We're going to take an L stance. When we take an L stance, 3 things happen. Are they happening? Heel, hand, ear. Again, heel, hand, ear. The energy is stored in the back. We're going to transfer that energy and lunge forward to get into a bow stance. Our hands went for the ride. Let's prove that again. On a T stance, storing down. Left hand, parallel, right hand higher. We know we're going to do this, but we're going to do, it's not just a hand motion. We're taking an L stance, turning our hips and waist, bow stance. Sit back, lower, pivot, no different from what we've been practicing. T stance, parallel higher. This time our right hand is parallel, our left hand is higher. Same thing, but a little different if you're right dominant. Out on an L, ear and hand, turn the hips and waist, Hands go for the ride. Very good from what I can see. Let's do it some more. Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, parallel higher on a T, out on an L, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, store that energy on a T, parallel higher. Out on our heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, parallel higher on a T. How do we get to brush our knee? 3 things happen. We're going to use that stored energy. Out on an L, turn the hips and waist, brush knee. Sit back, lower, pivot. One more set, parallel higher on a T, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, hold your ball on a T-step, T-stance. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Out on an L, bottom hand advances as if it were presenting a snack to the person in front of us. Sit back, lower, pivot, holding your ball on a T-stance. Out on an L, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, lower, pivot, holding your ball on a T-stance. Out on an L, getting into a bow stance to part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, store that energy on a T. Out on an L, move that ball to part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, lower, listen carefully, parallel higher on a T. We're going to multitask to brush our knee. Out on an L, move the 2 hands, turn the hips and waist. There you go. Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, parallel higher on a T. How do your hands out on an L go for the ride? Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T, ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, hold your ball on a T-stance. Okay, so yeah, it's not easy, but you knew that you came to Tai Chi knowing that it's going to be kind of difficult. This is the most complex movement of the 10 form, next to cloud hand. So, but you know what? I remember when I couldn't do it and Ken was yelling at me and saying, "Don't you know, do this, do that." And you know, I was determined to learn it even though I was criticized, because it's sort of fascinating. It's like, wow, if I can learn this, I feel so good. You feel empowered, like you yourself can do it, and it's your whole body that's doing it. And that's why I think you'll like Tai Chi and like this movement. But to get to that point can be frustrating. So remember I said you're in Tai Chi for less stress. So remember that, okay? But we can learn more about our body doing complex things, okay? And then later on, when you finally get it, you said, oh, well, that wasn't that hard. You know, now I have to tackle cloud hands. But it's all in the fun of learning about yourself, okay? So essentially, this is what you did, okay? And the form now is going to be a little bit different from what we did earlier, but essentially, this is what you're doing. So you're letting your energy that's stored, bringing it all together. So if the energy is powering my movements, I should finish expending my energy when I finish complete my whole movement, rather than saving or making my hands move for me. So you can understand and probably see that in Tai Chi, we use our whole body in the best way that we know how. And we also use the energy that each of us has to help us with our movements. If we did not understand that premise, all we would say, higher, parallel, bring it here, bring it here, bring it here. And the power still got expended, but did not do anything for me. I can't do it as well because I'm now tuned into something else. But this is an extreme where I showed you that this hip or the waist did not power my movement. In this case, which is incorrect, my hands powered my movement, which is wrong, okay? So you want to get away from that. This particular movement, brush knee, displays this the best. However, all of the movements of Tai Chi, the hands go for the ride. In commencing form, how do I come down? Do I just push my hands down and say, I'm ready, I'm done with commencing form? No, I use my mind and I think it through. I drop my shoulders, drop my elbows, drop my wrists, flex my knees. Therefore, the hand is here. All I do is come down. I never push it down. I do it only because my body, my mind is doing it for me. In the same way, when you part the wild horse's mane, I use that energy to power the hands. And remember we said that Tai Chi addresses the core, the best part of your body, but you've got to learn how to move that energy through your system, your core, so that you can be strong and hold yourself from falling and keep yourself in balance. If the energy is stored in my back, my core helps me to expand and my hands go for the ride. They do not lead my motion. Okay? That is not good Tai Chi. But you're beginning students, so we can take anything you give us to set up a platform. But to learn it correctly and understand it precisely is where we want to start clean. So we have students that I've told you have been here for 10 years and more, and they've followed me, and then they're scratching their heads and said, oh, if you had told us 10 years ago, I would have been top notch. Yeah, that's what Tai Chi is all about. You always go back and you refine something and you learn it a little better. And it boggles your mind. It keeps your mind very, very stimulated. So it's a plus in that way. Okay. Ready to do it again? And then string it along, okay? Actually, let's string it along first and then go back, okay? String it along to see where it falls in the 10 form. Okay, good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders. I'm going to bring my feet in a little bit more. Commencing form, 50-50. Put 60 on your right, 70, 80, 90, 100, off the ground, open. Left foot, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Hands rotate to the middle of your thighs. Take a deep breath in as you elevate both hands. At shoulder level, you're going to drop your shoulders, Drop your elbows, drop your wrists, flex your knees so that your hands go for the ride. Repulsing of the monkey. Left hand stays in the middle, right hand rises up higher, open both palms to the ceiling as you glance. Bring the back hand to the ear. Turn your neck, meet both hands in the middle, slide forward, slide back. Center the front hand, left hand higher, opens. Bring it to the ear, turn the face, meet in the center as you repulse a monkey. Ooh, parallel higher. Here's our opportunity. T-stance, parallel higher. Okay, everybody got it? Where's your energy? Do you have any? Store it in your right or back. Out on an L, hands go for the ride. Turn your hips and waist all the way, shift the weight. Brush your knee. Wow, that wasn't too bad. Sit back, lower, pivot with the left foot. T-stance, set up your hands, parallel higher, we're gonna brush our knee. Out on an L, move the energy as you multitask to brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot. Hold your ball in a T-stance. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Out on an L, move that ball. Go up your horse's mane as if you're presenting a snack to the person in front. Sit back, lower, pivot, root down, hold your ball. Out on an L, part the wild horse's mane. Okay, you're good challengers. You like to be challenged. Someone challenge you with cloud hands. Flip the forward hand so that you no longer see the palm. Join it with the back hand so you can see the palm. You're on a bow stance. Okay, don't worry if you can't get it. It's more in fun. Sit back, lower, pivot. You're looking at a face of a clock. This is 12 o'clock. Left hand has a stem. Right hand has a cup, as if it were holding a ball or a cup. You're going to pivot on your left heel, and you're going to get out to the 9 o'clock. But 9 o'clock, two things happen. You close your feet, you flip your hands. You're back at 12 o'clock now. The right hand now has a stem, and the bottom hand has a cup. At 3 o'clock, two things happen. You're going to flip the hands, and you're going to open the feet. Coming back to 12 o'clock, stem and cup. 9 o'clock, you're only flipping the hands. 12 o'clock, stem, cup. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, join the feet. This is called cloud hands. Stem, middle, or cup at 12. 9 o'clock, two things happen. Flip the hands, open the feet. Middle or cup at 12. 3 o'clock, only flip the hands. Shift your weight to the left, and what are you going to do? Something you always have done from day one. Be a golden cockerel. On both sides. Since Tai Chi is symmetrical, now we're going to kick out. Right hand on the outside, right foot coming up and kicking out in line. Shift weight, left foot, left hand up and out. And then weeks ahead, holding your ball to ward off, okay? Another very pretty movement. All right. I wish I could say, can you just do it? I want to see how you do it, and then give me more incentive to teach. But I realize that a lot of you still need someone to watch, which is fine. That's a way of learning, a good way of learning. Then slowly you want to wean yourself and say, you know what, there's some parts where I can remember, and I don't have to really watch. But if I hear her voice or someone's voice, perhaps that would be enough, okay? And so this is a constant challenge to all students, okay? Even for me, students forever. All right. Let's go over how to brush our knee. How do you make your hands? Show me how do you make your hands. Think about what were the words I used. One is parallel, one is higher. So where's parallel? Show me at least parallel. So we said that the parallel hand is closer to the shoulder, about chest, not this way, but here, yeah, and this is my parallel. It's not touching my clothes, neither is it throwing my Tai Chi posture off because it's too far forward. It's just comfortably parallel. What is the other hand doing? The other hand is higher. Higher meaning it's not at the same level, but slightly higher where you can see it at the corner of your eye, right? So everybody's got a parallel and higher. What do you do with your feet? Show me what you do with your feet. You're on a T stance. Show me where your energy is. Where's your weight? Yeah, show me by flexing, yeah? Show me by flexing. That would be a great way, then you could keep your hands stable. Now, what do you do? If I'm in a T stance, I have my energy, I want to come this way. That's all I want to see right now, because then it's easy. How are you going to get to the front to brush your knee? You're going to turn the hips and waist, let your hands go for the ride. So we're getting to that point. So can we just do this? Watch again. T stance, L stance. All I want you to do is this, because the rest is easy. Turns like this, all right? Okay. Remember I said that when you are in a bow stance, the foot in the back does not help you to fall down. We don't want to fall. You got to keep that foot firm and flat. Do not follow the hand. Do not follow your hand. I'm already I'm contorted. My cable is not straight up. Plus this is going to help me to fall by lifting it up. Do not go with your front hand. All you do is you're stable, you're executing by distributing your energy, and you're firm on your feet. If you are, and you don't lift that back foot up, it's great. But here's another tendency that's very common. Watch to see why I am not in good Tai Chi posture at the end of my brush knee. Where's my cable? My cable's bent. I need to straighten it back up. Once you straighten it back up, you're in perfect balance. The cable is keeping me erect. And the hands or the motion of the extremities are just there going for the ride. Watch again. Sit back, twist, lower, T parallel, L, move, brush knee. Is my cable being adhered to? I hope so. Sit back, lower, twist, parallel, T, L, turn hips and waist allows me then to brush my knee. Knee not beyond my toe, because that'll surely make me fall, but straight in line, knee and toe in line. Let's do two really well, okay? On a T stance, parallel higher. Out on an L, turn the hips and waist, firm down, brush knee on a bow stance. Sit back, lower, pivot, firm down, T, parallel higher. L, move the hands, turn the hips and waist, allows you to brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, firm down, parallel higher. We're going to multitask. Out on an L, move the hands, turn the hips and waist, allows your hands to go for the ride. Bow stance. Knee not beyond the toe, good Tai Chi posture. Sit back, lower, pivot, firm down, root down, parallel higher, multitask. Out on your heel, move those hands, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Now here's the test. Drag the right, put your hands down, drag your right foot back. What am I looking for? Do you have it? What is it?
Space.
A space, the gap. Don't forget that now, okay? Right? And I think a lot of you do have that gap, because it's pounded down pretty well. It was almost like a broken record. But it needs to have that gap. And remember the logic is it allow me to turn my knees or turn or move, distribute my energy. If I did not have the gap, which is right here, there's no gap, right? I won't have any room to turn, and it's going to put stress on my knees. So we need to come out and to the side, out and to the side, here, okay? So remember that. So you're saying, wow, I don't really like Tai Chi. There's so many rules, but the rules are there for safety, okay? Rules are there for safety. The rules are there so that you can carry on your everyday activities in a safe way. It'll be ingrained in you. You'll know that the cable will keep you erect, keep you in balance. But once you don't understand that and it's not done as a routine, you're going to bend that cable and more than likely you may fall. But you can fall many ways, so it's not a guarantee. We all need to build up our core, the stabilizers of our body, which are the central parts of our system. We don't really care to make our arms stronger, our hands stronger, but we do care that the core is supportive of all our moves. So we need to start to build it up and recognize that we do have a core that's very important. You know, I do peek at you and I do know, you know, what I need to help you with because I see things. But I must say that you took the initiative to come here and to start. It can only get better because you have laid a platform in which you can build on. If you had no platform, every day you could do something different. But now you've established something. Some are correct, some are wrong, but at least you can build on what you established. So that's really good, okay? So when you practice at home and when you watch things at home, make sure you test yourself because we're looking for that gap. Then make sure if you see a whole class as big as this or any of my other 2 classes and you say, everybody looks good, but there's that one person I keep on seeing and she's or he's leaning forward, then you know that that's an incorrect stance. So you apply it to yourself, right? So everything that I say that may you feel is not you, maybe turn it around and say, you know what, I think she's talking about me. That's how you can get better. That's one ploy, one strategy, okay?
There's so much to learn, and the converse is there's so much to teach, which is sort of a challenge. And Lucille has the skill of breaking things down. Sometimes I have difficulty in trying to break things down, so I give you the whole plate. And you say, sure looks good, but I don't know where to start. But I'm going to try just to talk about a few basic things. What we're trying to do in Tai Chi is to learn optimum stability. What body positions, both static, standing still, as well as moving, are the most stablest. That's number 1. Number 2, when we move, how do we maintain that stability relationship as much as possible? And 3, when we're moving our hands and legs, how are they being moved? You know, are we just moving hands? Are we just moving our whole body? Okay? And then the last part is to say, okay, I've got my hands, my legs, my posture. How do I put them all together so I can stand still stable and then move stable? So I want to just talk about some things like Lucille was saying or alluding to, Tai Chi posture. Tai Chi posture, you can almost take the analogy that you are stacking vertically your parts of your body. That is, it starts from your head, your upper trunk, your back is straight, your butt is tucked in, And everything is one stacked onto each other. None of this here, none of this way. Everything is stacked. And as much as possible, whether you're still, whether you're moving, you try to maintain that. Okay. Movement in Tai Chi can be broken down into linear movement and rotatory movement. Okay, we do spinning, rotatory. We do linear. But all the while that you're doing this, you are maintaining Tai Chi posture, so you stay stable. Okay. So for instance, I'm in Tai Chi posture, come up here, turn. That was rotational, and then this was linear. If you're out of Tai Chi posture, as she was alluding to, you may be going forward okay, but you're rotating in this manner. You just have to have the analogy, you spin a top and you watch. And as long as it's moving in a vertical manner, it will stay upright. The minute it starts to wobble, get off the vertical, that's when you get trouble, when the top finally says, I give up, flops to the side and rolls off to the other side. And human beings will do the same thing. You make a turn without balance and your body's moving, and I literally have seen people in uneven terrain. I saw one lady in China that unnerved me. We were on a slightly slanted area, and she turned to go. And she just spun out of control, fell to the ground, and rolled down this embankment into the center of the road. That's spooky. So the job for us learning Tai Chi is to be stable. So when you're standing like this, hey, not too bad, stable is easy. Tai Chi posture, straight up, nothing else, even weight. But the minute you start to move, you have to be thinking about, am I moving vertically, and am I in, turning on a vertical axis and shifting, again, Tai Chi posture. Then we start to talk about what does the rest of your body do to help you. And although we say the hands go for the ride, really they and the upper trunk help you. And I'll give the example of brush knee. Before I do that, we move our hands and our bodies in spirals, okay? And for teaching purposes, she'll tell you hands up to the ear, hands parallel, okay? But if you watch, you come from our repulsing the monkey, and 1, 2, from here the spiral starts. The spiral starts, 2 spirals. One is coming from after we have done this. This spiral is coming here. Going to do this. It's going to come back up and do this. Just as this one has come all the way back already, but it's going to spiral up here. When it finishes, it comes back here. Spiral down again. Yeah? Brush knee. Sit back, spirals up again. So when we teach you hands to the ear, it's sort of a rigid static. Everybody does this, and some people do this. They've already shot the spiral here. They sort of semi-shot the spiral here, but the movement. And if you keep it dynamically moving, spiral here, and what am I doing all the while with my stability? I'm parked, vertical, I'm in one place, okay? And I don't move, so I can even maintain my stability even further, because when I do this, my hands are helping me. They're not doing this way or that way. They help me by doing this. I can stay here almost forever. So I'm not in a rush to figure where I got to put my foot because I got to go this way. You just say, okay, balance, put it at your leisure. You control placement of your foot. And then what do? Continue the rotation, spiral, and advancement. Okay? So those are some things to think about. You're not going to always grasp all the implications of what's said, and that's okay because we're at different stages in our Tai Chi journey. And sometimes the best part, you say, oh yeah, I get it.
Okay, so we can say that we got it, right? All right. Did a really good job trying to learn something new that's very difficult. It does require practicing. It does require training your body, understanding first the logic, then trying to make your body do it in a logical way. I can't say enough about practicing. It will help you make your journey more enjoyable, especially with the upcoming lessons. So do what you can. I would also like for you to check your alignment of your feet. Make sure you don't compile it with all kinds of complex movements if your feet are not comfortable. So make sure you strip it apart, do the feet. Once you're comfortable and you really got it straight, add the hand to parting of the wild horse's mane, okay? On and on it goes. But I know you have your own strategy, which is good, so continue it. Good job. Okay, see you next time. Thank you.